So welcome to Sustain, and we're gonna do some this map that I made from the Plague Tale Innocence. It's just a map for Doughnut's competition. So I'll be making a video about it. I have to wait until the end of February to publish it. It doesn't run that great on console. Mainly because Trials has a lot of problems with the editor. And it can't handle simple environments. So I think it's a very beautiful map. It's not an accurate remake, of course. It's just inspired by certain environments from the game of the Plague Tale. Yeah, I only remake my favorite stuff anyway. You know me. I'm not gonna remake anything because of a certain thing or anything. See right here on console, it's like in slow motion, right? But I have an Xbox One S, so that's why. If I had an X, it'd probably be a lot more runnable. On the Series X, you should have zero problems. Or on the PS5, you should have zero problems. But again, different software, different machines, and Trials Rising wasn't really optimized for consoles. That's why you get the stutters and the lag, and mostly with Track Central tracks. And so many things can factor to lag, like logic, chains, or effects, or foliage, or background set pieces. It just... If this map had zero foliage, it probably had zero lag. Okay, so you have to jump over that, over here. The spikes will kill you. This is supposed to be the target range area of the Rune home. And that was the Rune outskirts. So the areas are not accurate. Like I took one area and I merged it with a different area and merged it with a different area. Now, this map looks beautiful. And I optimized the line with lots of testing and stuff. Right? It's not going to be the best fucking line in the world, obviously. It is a ninja track. I played a lot of ninja tracks in my time. I passed over 2,000 ninja tracks. This one you have to treat it like an overhang, so remember that. I was not treating it as an overhang, that's why I kept failing. This is the inside of the Rune Castell. And yeah, this is like an indoor environment. I used so each area has a skybox, and within the skybox I customized the lighting, blah 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 blah. So when you go out, so each area is going to have its own individual area conditioner filter, or skybox, whatever you want to call it, and you can customize the fog and the environment setting for your discretional environment, if that makes sense. I feel like if I put the commentary, it's a little bit better. I usually never put commentary for these maps. So this bottle here will help you get up here. There's a few camera blocking from inside to outside. That will factor in for sure for the judging of the map, I know that. And then this is another area. It's a church area for the strangers level. I used a lot of foliage here. Again, it's going to be kind of laggy here. The custom bombs are barrels. They're not really bombs. They're just barrels that would affect that they're bombs and you'll crash within. And yeah, just a lot of different color trees, just how the Plague Tale was. I think this track is a level 2. It could be a level 3 though. So I'm gonna say 2/3 on the safe side of stuff. I think it's a very, very beautiful map. I definitely tweaked the driving line. It was gonna be harder, but since there was a little bit of performance issues, I kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to dumb down the difficulty, because then it's going to be pretty annoying. You know, because right now I'm playing it in slow motion, right? So it's really, really hard for me to play the map. And that's mainly because Trials Rising's fault of not creating a game that's optimized for consoles, right? So Doughnut shouldn't have any problems with this on PC at all. And you would think an indie game to have performance issues. Well, Trials is not really an indie game. Kind of is. So normally I edit these videos, but this is a special video where I'll listen to the Plague Tale music as I play through the game. I'll try this a few more times. Obviously gonna have to beat it in the actual map it's released. Which I don't know the specifications, what happens if I release a map to Trax Engine. Like right now it's slow in the editor. But when I release the map, it becomes different. Like, see, that's the problem when you make a map, right? You put in all the work, and then it runs like shit. And unfortunately, that is Trials Rising's fault. Unfortunately, is I love putting detail in my maps. And there's a lot of stuff that's decoration only as well. So like I did a lot of decoration only pieces, and like I don't really know what's causing the lag. I think it's just because I used too many foliage lags in Trials Rising. There was never a problem for Trials Fusion at all. So I think the problem with Trials Rising is, and oh yeah, and I'm gonna just talk about the map. So those chandelier pieces are pretty good. Really easy how you do them. I just like the design. It looks like a nice chandelier piece there. I think it's really nice. I'm crashing so we can see the death cam for each environment. So the death cam, you have 2 seconds to look at where you died, and then it will transition to the new camera. If you don't like that, well, I'm sorry, but that's just how I do my maps, man. Like, I even gave you a 2-second timer for you to see where you died and see how far it is. You know, I just believe that if the camera goes through the floor, you can go through the ocean, and it breaks the whole immersion of the map. For you to go to a death cam with a black and out transition, it just seems more professional, in my opinion. It's just how it is, dude. If the map was built where you don't go through the floor, it's just flat terrain, and that's fine. But if you have mountains and stuff, on most tracks, your camera will clip through the environment, and that's bad, right? And I don't like that. Just a normal jump here. You gotta do a big hop. So again, this is another area. This is the windmill section. Little squishy hop there. You don't have to squishy hop there. So I made this track relatively level 2-ish, you know? There shouldn't be an hour. You have the sound of the water wheel going. What I love about Trials Rising is there's so much depth that goes into the editor. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's bad about the game, but there's so much things good about the game. Trials is still a high 8 out of 10 for me. Okay, I would have preferred if they had like more bikes from the original games, fix the stutters, have options in the game to like degrade the graphics to fix the stutters like you have on PC, because on PC there's options to degrade the graphics so the game can run better. You know, why don't you have that? I bet you that's 100% what's causing the stutters. Is the graphics are too high, or certain things are too high, like effects, graphics, you know, foliage, lighting, I don't know, ambient occlusion, like all of that stuff. But that actually applies to lighting, so. Because I did modify the ambient occlusion on this map. That's why you have the fog, like it's like autumn, you know, the autumn breeze. You know, there's cows there because Trials Rising put cows. I put chickens. Now the map right here runs smoothly because if you notice, there's zero foliage here, so it's 100% the foliage. So that's pretty much the map. So yeah, you have pumpkins. You have a storm brewing in the background. So we just did a camera skybox transition very seamlessly. So now we're heading into like a more night stormy type of place. This is medieval ages, so everyone has candles inside the houses, right? They're not actual lights, but how would you supposed to tell the difference? You don't. So all the houses are made out of straw and you know, in stone, right? So the driving line is really good here. I just suck. Then we have like a church. We have a whole village in the background and stuff. Old-fashioned cranes and stuff. We're about to enter the cathedral, because in the Plague Tale you enter the cathedral, one of the best looking areas in the game. I mainly grabbed everything from my Resident Evil maps because they're very close to the... So right here, the difficulty kind of picks up. You have to do a squishy hop. And you gotta hold a squishy. I mean, no, you gotta hold a position up there. You gotta stay up there, or it's not gonna work. But I see a lot of people complaining, well, we're saying that's just not how it goes. So you see out right there? You know, when I make ninja tracks, I want to make unique obstacles. And a lot of people do the same old boring ninja tracks. I don't like that. I don't like the same old boring ninja tracks. You know? I want variety. And I provided that variety here. So we start to get a little laggy here because we have multiple light sources. We have a light source flame for each candle, and then we have an effect light for each candle, right? And especially for the top. And then we have environmental effect lighting. We have no lighting in here. There's actually the only lights there is the effect turned off and the light on for the fire torch. Really, really nice level design here. Really, really nice. Really, really nicely done. I like the throne chair and the elements with the custom textures that they added in Trials Rising. So really, really nice. Trials Rising is amazing for indoor environments. Now you have to be careful here. If you touch the flame, you will die. So you gotta hop over the flame here. And people's like, oh, well, you can't see the bottom, but if I go back to the checkpoint, as you're doing this obstacle, you can actually see where you're going after the flame, so you gotta memorize where you're going. Okay? It's not that bad. You know the obstacle ahead of time, so you shouldn't complain about it. Now, I'm gonna die here to activate another death cam, see how it gives you time to transition, to see the next scene. There's a lot of statues in here, a lot of robes and curtains, and it's a big castle. This is where Vitalis, the Inquisition leader, sits on the throne chair. You have a nice, good obstacle here. Just keep going around, and then this part right here, which is an amazing abandoned castle at the end. It looks legendary, this part. Really legendary. You have a storm brewing in the background. I put a lot of logic to do the lightning. Well, it's just one logic script for the lighting. And on the left, you have the rats. Okay, which we'll see in a moment. This part was kind of hard to do. It's all physics-based, this thing. I can actually turn on the logic here, so just a little bit of logic for the rain. So it's all physics-based. So as I go, something will go down. You see it's all physics-based with a physics joint. Right? Just physics with physics. That's all it is, really. So up there you have a... I'm gonna pause it. So up there you have a physics ball locked to driving line, and then that's like a slope, so it can go left or right. And then it's tied to a joint, a physics joint, to the rider. My rider's head is invincible because you'll hit your head on that. This is the last checkpoint. It's not really an obstacle. It's just like, oh, this is the end. Congratulations, type of thing. So the ending of the track ends right here. The reason why I put a checkpoint here is because just in case you fuck up, because it is an obstacle, really. In case you don't get on it, there's a checkpoint. I always believe in checkpoints. So you go here, you just have to hold brake and hold forward. You finish the map. And then it transitions to the next camera here. There's a castle in the background. There's also a castle on the on the left side and right side. And then there's the rats, the evil rats in the cave. You see them? And I think it's a great map. I'm gonna turn down the game volume now. So that was my map. That will be released on the 22nd through the 25th of February. This was my showcase with commentary, and hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough of the map. It wasn't that hard. I screwed around. I showed you everything. It's a level 2. I think it's a straight up level 2 map. I'm just gonna say level 2. Because I pretty much did it pretty easily, right? It's a pretty solid level 2 map. And I think the last part is very legendary. Very, very well done. Castle design. So I'm saying a legend, and that's it. That's my first. I may do more commentary things in the future, but that is it, and I'll see you on more builds, which I'm gonna do. You can follow me on Twitch to see me build live, and ninja runs and all that nice stuff. Until then, I'll see you on more builds. Laters.